Today we're taking a first look at the new Montane rucksack. This is the Valen 40. The Valen is a super burly, really light mountaineering climbing backpack. The first thing that's noticeable about the Valen is the fact it's quite simplistic. Climbers really like that. Any sort of things on the side do end up getting ripped off when you're climbing in the back of a chimney or something like that. But also it's got enough features that it feels comfortable and easy to use as well. You'll notice it's called a Valen 40 plus 5, so it's a 40-litre pack that obviously when you stuff it right to the brim and don't roll the top, you get an extra 5 litres, which you can do when walking in and then scrunch it down once you start climbing and want to feel a bit more nimble. One of the coolest features about the Valen rucksack is the fabric they've used. This is called Raptor Grid. It's 200 denier and basically it's incredibly strong, but also really light. Montane claimed that it's 15 times stronger than steel of its weight. This fabric is constructed out of 88% recycled nylon, giving it a really tough feel to it, and also 12% polyethylene, which makes this ripstop, which makes it incredibly durable, sheds water well, but still really light. Sort of the climber's dream material, that, isn't it? The bag also features what Montane are calling 360-degree compression. Now I can see that because of this webbing that goes all the way around the bag and the ones that go all the way around the side. That means you can compress your stuff really nice and secure, so when you're moving fast in the hills or if you're climbing, all your stuff's not rattling around in there. I find that really important when you're trying to climb a hard pitch and you've got your stuff left in there, often a water bottle rattling around. It's lovely just to squeeze it really tight, really secure, so it feels like it's staying in place. That's also really beneficial with those long walk-ins. You don't want it bouncing around, it wants to feel nice and secure. This top buckle is also useful if you've already stuffed your bag to the max for putting a rope over the top there. And the side straps here are really useful as well. If you're not putting your ice axes and things in there, you can put skis if you're ski touring. You can drop walking poles in there and tighten them up really nicely. What's really nice is some of the components on this as well. So nice metal down here on the ice axe attachments. You can tuck it in through here as well, so you're not going to break those. And also on the waist belt, they've used a metal buckle so that you can't slam it into the door or stand on it and break it. And also it's really easy to do it with gloves. The entry system's well worth talking about as well because it's a roll top. Now, I'm not always a huge fan of roll tops because sometimes they don't have a pull cord on there, so you can't just stuff it nice and quickly. What I do like about this one is it does have that pull cord as well. So if you don't want to roll it up, if it's sort of bulging, just pull that taut, put the strap over the top, nice and secure without having to roll it all the time. However, that comes into its own once you get to the climb and you want to shove your stuff in there, most of your gear's out, your ropes, your harness, all that, and it's quite empty by then. Then you can roll that roll top down, keep everything nice and dry. If it's spin drifting, you don't want to get any snow in there. So that's really nice and secure and tried and tested. Nice little feature on the side here. Instead of having a top pocket, because there's no lid, so it's quite hard to have a top pocket, they've got a side pocket here for putting your keys or your wallet or anything you want in it. It's got a little key clip as well, so you know you won't lose it. Definitely worth talking about the hip belt, which I think is quite interesting. So it's quite a nice, comfortable hip fin that you're all used to. And on one side over here, it's got the gear loop, so you can clip things to it if you need. But on this side, you'll notice a little pouch. Now, not a lot of climbers would probably like that while climbing because it's something that could get caught. But if you're ski touring, it's really useful for keeping things like your lip balm or whatever in there when it's nice and sunny. However, Montane have thought about this, so it's actually detachable. You see at the bottom it's not attached, and the top it's on these two little sort of like buckles, I want to call them. But what's quite cool about that is you can leave that there when you want, but if you want to use it as an internal pocket, there's a strap in there that you can attach it to, so you can keep your keys in there if you like, and you know you won't just throw it out on a belay because it's still attached. Have a little thought that. The hip belt is stitched in, so some of these you can remove, this one you can't, but I think that's not a bad thing. It feels nice and secure and it carries a load really well. Also, they're really thin hip fins, so when you are wearing a harness, it doesn't seem to get in the way. And if you do want to clip it around the back, like a lot of climbers do, it actually does that really well because it folds nicely because they are so malleable. The back system is nice and simple, but really effective. So this outer sheds moisture really well. If there's getting snow packed in there or your sweat, it doesn't soak too much in, adding to the weight. And also it feels really stable, so carrying a big load into the crag, you can do that no problem. The feature I like the most about that is it's got this aluminium stave all the way down the back. So that's quite cool. You're carrying the load in, it's really heavy, and you can get on the weight onto your hips. However, if you're climbing a really technical pitch or know you're going to be more climbing than walking of the day, you can simply remove that. Makes it feel much closer to your back. Doesn't carry weight as well, but you feel much more nimble and free to move, And you can even roll the bag up and shove it in another bag if you need, because it's much more packable once you've done that. It's got a nice elasticated sternum strap, which is easily removable, or you can move it to a place that suits you best. The foam on the shoulder straps feels incredibly comfortable, but it's also, again, quite thin, so it distributes the weight really well, but it doesn't feel too bulky while you're climbing. And again, this seems to get rid of moisture with no problem. The Valen only comes in one back length, but with these tension straps at the top here, you can actually have quite a lot of adjustment. If you're a shorter back length, you can set it to here. Obviously, if you're a bit taller like myself, you might want it all the way to the top. They also carry a load really nicely as well. So this bag weighs in at 730 grams, which is not the lightest on the market, but it's also far from the heaviest. I'd definitely put it in the light category, but it's also super burly. And again, it's a big rucksack. You can get a lot of stuff in here. Pushing 45 litres, that's more than enough for Scottish winter climbing and even cragging in the UK. I've reviewed lots of really cool rucksacks over the years on this channel, but what's noticeable is that the prices are getting a bit crazy for the really cool features they can have. This bag is quite affordable in comparison. I'm not saying cheap because it's a well-made piece of kit, but it's quite affordable compared to some of the others out there. So while this is designed at Scottish winter climbing, mountaineering, things like this, I actually do think it's quite versatile. I would use it as a cragging bag, which I wouldn't some others, which feel a bit too delicate. I also think ski tourers will really like it with some of the features they've got on there. So quite a good all-round bag, a good price, incredibly durable. Why not give it a go? So I hope you enjoyed that review. If you want to see more things like this, make sure you subscribe below and hit the like button too.